The alarm goes off at 6:14 a.m., not 6:15, not 6 o'clock, 6:14, because somewhere in my 30-year-old brain, I still run this dumb little system where shaving off 1 minute from a round number somehow makes waking up feel less brutal. It doesn't. I know it doesn't. I've known it doesn't for years, and I keep doing it anyway, which is honestly a pretty solid summary of my entire adult life. I reach over and slap the nightstand twice before I actually find my phone, and for about 4 beautiful seconds, I just lie there staring at the ceiling. 30 years old, a decade into the workforce. A corporate employee with a full-time salary, a lease I can barely afford, and a LinkedIn profile that says results-driven professional. And still, every single morning, I need 4 seconds to convince myself to get up and face the day. Go figure. I drag myself out of bed and my feet hit the cold hardwood floor, and that is the first gut punch of the morning. My body feels like wet concrete. I slept. Technically, but I woke up at 2 a.m. running through a project update I hadn't finished. Then again at 4 a.m. replaying something my manager said in Tuesday's all hands that I am still not sure was constructive feedback or just him being passive-aggressive in a blazer. So yeah, sleep. We're calling it that. I am 30, not 60. And I wake up more tired than my dad did at his age, which is a sentence I never thought I'd be sitting with at this hour. I shuffle into the kitchen on full autopilot. The coffee maker kicks on before I've consciously decided to make coffee muscle. Memory is wild like that. I stand there in my wrinkled sleep shirt, watching it drip, and the to-do list is already assembling itself in the back of my head like a Monday morning meeting. Nobody scheduled, but everyone showed up to anyway. Sprint, review at 9. Stakeholder deck due by noon. That follow-up from Marcus in ops that I've been ghosting for 3 days because I genuinely don't have an answer for him yet. I rub my face hard with both hands, trying to reboot, trying to summon the version of myself who has his act together, who meal preps on Sunday, who journals. That guy is running late. That guy is always running late. The coffee helps. It always helps a little. I take that first sip standing at the counter, not sitting, just standing, because sitting means I am committing to being fully awake, and I am not quite there yet. It is hot and slightly bitter, and it is the single best moment of my morning. I stare out the window at the street below. A jogger goes by. A guy my age probably out there at 6:30 in the morning, looking like he genuinely wants to be alive. I respect it. I also, if I am being honest, kind of resent it. Then I make my first mistake of the day. I open my banking app. I genuinely do not know why I do this to myself every single morning. I have a whole mindful morning routine saved in my phone, somebody's YouTube video about journaling and gratitude and not looking at your phone. For the first hour, I watched it 3 times. I implement it never. Instead, I am standing in my kitchen at 6:35 a.m. watching numbers on a screen do things that stress me out. The rent auto pay already came out. The credit card minimum is sitting there like a bad ex always around, never helpful. My student loan servicer sent a cheerful little notification I haven't tapped on yet because I already know what it says and I don't need that energy before 7 a.m. There is a subscription charge I forgot to cancel. There is always, without fail, a subscription charge I forgot to cancel. I am 30 years old and I am still getting got by the free trial to paid conversion pipeline. It is embarrassing. It is fine. Everything is fine. I close the app, I open it again, I close it. I put my phone face down on the counter and finish my coffee in silence. But the number I saw is already doing laps in my skull. I do the math. The quiet, slightly panicked, back of the napkin math that I've been doing every 2 weeks since I was 23 and got my first real paycheck, and immediately felt like it wasn't enough. 7 years of corporate work, and I still feel like I am one bad month away from something. I don't want to think about too hard. I make decent money. I know I make decent money. And yet, I shower, get dressed, and stand in front of my closet for 4 full minutes, like I am making a choice that matters. I grab whatever looks clean and business casual enough to survive a day of meetings, where people say, circle back with a completely straight face. I check my reflection. I look tired. I look exactly like a guy who checked his banking app before his coffee kicked in. I straighten my collar, grab my laptop bag, and head out the door into another Thursday. The commute is its own category of stress. It is 2026, so the transit app on my phone now has an AI feature that personalizes your route based on energy and stress levels, which is both genuinely impressive and profoundly unsettling. I tap through 2 packed train cars before I find a space where I am not someone else's armpit neighbor. Everybody in here is doing the same thing I am doing, earbuds in, eyes down, existing in public, while making it very clear they don't want to interact with public. The unspoken social contract of the morning commute. I put my earbuds in too, not to listen to anything specific, just to tell the world I am currently closed for conversation. I walk into the office building at 8:51 and the vibe settles on me immediately. That particular corporate smell, recycled air conditioning, someone's reheated breakfast from the break room, and underneath it all, the faint scent of collective ambition, slowly suffocating under LED lighting. I badge in. There is Marcus from Ops already posted up at his standing desk, typing with the energy of a man who has things to prove. I definitely still owe him that email. I keep my eyes forward. Rule number 1 of office survival at 30. Don't make eye contact with anyone until you are fully loaded into the day. I get to my desk, open my laptop, and spend the first 12 minutes performing the act of working. I am technically reading emails. I am not retaining a single word of them. I am nodding at my screen. I am doing the professional version of buffering. My brain doesn't actually arrive until around 9:08, which means for the first 16 minutes of my paid workday, I was essentially a decorative item next to a keyboard. The sprint review kicks off, and it is, as always, a masterpiece of corporate theater. My manager, Greg 42, MBA from somewhere Midwestern, uses the phrase, "Let's take this offline," as a threat, asks for quick updates, and somehow quick takes 47 minutes. There is a moment in the middle where 2 senior developers get into what they're diplomatically calling a difference in technical philosophy, but is absolutely 100% a beef that has been marinating since Q3 of last year over who got credit for a product feature. I sit there with my camera on, face professionally neutral, thinking about how I went $30,000 into student debt to sit in a room and watch 2 adults have a passive-aggressive argument about a sprint backlog. The corporate experience. Baby. After the meeting, I have 17 new Slack messages, a calendar invite for a meeting tomorrow that describes itself only as quick sync important, and a reply from Karen in marketing informing me that the timeline on the deck I've been losing sleep over actually shifted to Friday, which is wonderful news that would have been significantly more useful 48 hours ago when I was at my desk at 10 p.m. Stress, eating the last of my trail mix over a slide deck that apparently had extra time the whole time. I eat lunch at my desk. The break room has energy today, and I don't have the bandwidth for it. The afternoon is a slow, grinding bleed of time. Meetings about tasks, tasks that come out of meetings, Slack threads about the meetings about the tasks. My phone buzzes around 3:30, my girlfriend, asking if I can grab a few things from the grocery store on the way home. I look at the message. I want to say yes immediately, the way a normal, present person would. I start typing, "Yay, for sure. What do you need?" And then Marcus finally catches me on Slack. And the next time I look up it is 4:15, and my half-typed text is still sitting there, unsent, going nowhere. This is the 15th time something like this has happened, probably more. And every time it is not a big fight. It is not even a conversation. It is just this small, quiet drop in a bucket that has been filling up for a while, and I know it, and I still can't seem to stop it. I leave the office at 6:19. Not because I am done, I will never technically be done, but because I've hit a wall so hard and so complete that continuing would just be me staring at a screen generating heat. I text back on the train. I stop at the store. I grab the wrong brand of the thing she asked for, but I find a decent bottle of red, which feels like a metaphor I'll unpack later. We eat dinner together, and she asks how my day was, and I say it was a lot, because that is the truest short version. The full version would take the rest of the night, and I wouldn't even know where to start. She nods. She has her own version of the same answer. We eat and we talk about other things, and it is good. It is genuinely good. But somewhere in the back of my head, I am aware that we've had dinner together 4 times this week, and I couldn't tell you the last time we had a real conversation that wasn't about logistics. I wash the dishes, and I sit with that thought for longer than is comfortable. I get into bed at 11:20. My body crashes the second I am horizontal. My brain, predictably, does not get the memo. I lie there in the dark and the thoughts just start. Not dramatic thoughts, just the relentless, low-grade corporate hum of a 30-year-old trying to hold all his pieces together. Did I actually send that follow-up before I left, or did I just think about sending it? Is the deck landing right, or is there something off in the narrative flow on slide 7? What did Greg mean when he said, "My prioritization could be sharper"? Is that feedback, or is that the beginning of something? Am I growing in this role, or am I just surviving it? Is surviving it enough? Is this what the next 30 years look like? Just longer versions of today. The C2 banking app number comes back. The unsent text comes back. The wrong grocery item. The 47-minute quick meeting. The jogger at 6:30 who looked like he had a reason. I check my phone. It is 12:22. I have to be up in under 6 hours. I set my alarm for 6:14 because I am 30 years old and tired and a little bit lost, and somehow, despite all of the evidence, I still wake up every day and try. The trick doesn't work. The trick never worked. But I keep setting the alarm 1 minute early, and I keep getting up, and I keep going, and maybe that is the whole thing. Maybe that is just what this is.